Good day, viewers. Welcome to the Women's Health channel. My name is Gabriel Igberase. I've been away for quite some time. I've been busy with a lot of activities. Today, I'll be talking about IVF investigations. It is good for our women to know the type of test they will do prior to an IVF procedure. This test is also done for routine fertility investigations. Some of them are also done. I would want to begin with the men's test. It is important for us to know that these investigations are usually done during the menstrual cycle of the women, and we usually invite the couple to come to our clinics around the second or third day of the woman's menstrual cycle. We start with the mass test. The reason why we do this test is to detect abnormalities in the couple, to be able to treat these abnormalities, and also to be able to classify our patients appropriately, so that we're able to tell you what to do and how to go about your treatment, because you have to be part of this treatment actively. The mass test is usually done after 3 days of sexual abstinence. We call it the seminal fluid analysis, the sperm test, we usually call it, and we want to know whether they are normal or abnormal sperms the man has. And even if they are abnormal sperm tests, we can do some form of assistance. We call the ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. If there are low sperm counts, they may not be appropriate for the usual normal fertility treatment, but they will be appropriate for the IVF procedure. After that, we go on to do the women's test. We do our hormonal profile on the third day of our menses. We usually do the FSH, the LH, the prolactin. Then on the 21st day of the cycle, we do the progesterone assay. This test will help us know whether the woman is going to have good eggs or not. So they are a way of knowing our ovarian reserve, particularly the FSH levels. Another test we use to detect ovarian reserve is the AMH, the anti-Mullerian hormone. When we have very low levels, like below 1.5, it tells us that, oh, the ovarian reserve, that's the number of eggs that are remaining in the woman, is low. You know, as a woman gets older, after 35 years of age, our ovarian reserve goes down. And when we have a woman who has low ovarian reserve, usually women who are much older, in their 40s or so, we usually will counsel them for something else. To say, oh, you will benefit from a donor, but if you have good ovarian reserves, you can use your own eggs. We also would want to do another hormonal test called the thyroid profile. High thyroid levels, low thyroid levels have effect on ovulation. So we do the T3, T4, and the TSH levels. They are important tests also that we do for the woman. Also, because sexually transmitted infections also affect the fallopian tubes, the womb, the uterus, we also do some infection screen for our patients. We do the chlamydia test, we do the gonococcal screen. We also do screening for syphilis. We counsel our patients for HIV screen and hepatitis B and C. When we get consent from them, we go ahead to do this test, because these tests also are important, because results it will also help us know how to treat these patients, how to manage them, right, and how to carry on with the IVF procedure or the fertility treatment. We also do what we call the intrafollicular count. Around the second, third day of the menstrual cycle, at the beginning of the menses, we can count the number of antral follicles. It gives us an idea also of the ovarian reserve of the woman. We can do trans-abdominal scan, pelvic scan, and the transvaginal scan. The transvaginal scan will help us to will tell us about the integrity of the inner lining of the womb, the endometrium. Will tell us if there are masses like polyps there. Will also tell us if the endometrium is thick or thin. Will tell us if there are other masses, ovarian masses, right? So the transvaginal scans are also a good things, a good test we'll do. There are also some other specialized investigations like the hysteroscopic test, the laparoscopic test. These are endoscopic techniques. They are techniques that are used to the hysteroscopy, for example, are techniques that are used to visualize the inner lining of the womb. It tells us whether if there are additions inside the womb. It tells us if there are masses like polyps inside the womb. The hysteroscope is very, very vital. It's a vital tool pre-IVF procedure. Then we also will do laparoscopy for, especially for women who HSG, the womb X-ray I'll talk about. We do about the I've talked about, especially if they come with an outcome that says, oh, the corner end is blocked bilaterally, usually from both sides, usually due to the pain of the procedure. It's a little bit painful. We call it corner spasms. So when we have this, we go and do a form of a confirmatory test by way of laparoscopy. And when we do laparoscopy, there are endoscopic techniques. They use light source, a camera, and a pinhole surgery. You puncture the umbilicus and you put the tube in and you look at the whole of the pelvic cavity. The patient will be asleep now under anesthesia. There's no pain, and you inject the dye from the vagina to see how it flows through the tubes. So if the HSG tells you, oh, there are corner block, and the block is not really a true block, maybe it was because of spasm from pains, while you do laparoscopy, everything would be patent. It would be patent, right? So these tests are all very, very important. By the time we do the whole of all these tests, get the whole results, we'll be able to counsel the patient properly. We'll be able to classify the patient appropriately. We'll be able to detect abnormalities which we will treat. And this will give us favorable outcomes